All right, hey class. I just wanted to take a few minutes here to record a short video on your final exam. Your final exam is not actually going to be a test. It's going to be a paper. I sort of made mention of that previously. A short paper that you've already started working on. Everyone at this point should have feedback on the citations that you did on CRISPR, the gene editing technology and techniques that we've talked about previously. So I've given you some feedback on those citations, on those sources. Everyone found 3 sources in the popular press that were looking at pros and cons of CRISPR. So hopefully you remember that, and hopefully you go back and take a look at that feedback. So go into the assignment, take a look at that feedback, and use that as you build upon and think about the final exam. So the final exam prompt is going to be available to you. You'll have up until December the 10th to complete this paper and upload it back to Moodle. So December the 10th, at 11 o'clock, December the 10th, your final exam. You will have, this is optional, so you will have the option to submit 1 paragraph of your 3-page paper for a rough draft review. So I'll take a look at it, make some comments, give you some feedback, and you can use that to apply that to the rest of your paper. We'll have that. I'll have an upload link in Moodle by December the 3rd. So December the 3rd on the rough draft. So just want to go over a few pointers. You've already found sources, so you don't need to worry about going to the library database or Google Scholar or any other Google searches to find your sources, unless you're just not pleased with the sources that you have. But basically what you're going to do now is take those sources and you're going to analyze them. You're going to, which ones are more reputable. The goal here is that information is available all over the place about any topic that we want, and some of those sources aren't very reputable. They just get big headlines, and that's really all they are. There's no meat to them. And so what you're going to do with those sources that you've already found is you're going to analyze them. Which ones are more credible? Which ones are more reputable than others? So you're going to use the class concepts that you learned about with CRISPR and DNA and the central dogma to ask questions and to use as examples. For instance, if you look at your sources and none of them make mention of DNA, or maybe they say the central dogma is RNA is the basis of central dogma, and then protein is made, and then DNA is made. That's way off. That's totally incorrect, and you know that already. And so you'll be able to analyze those sources and point out the errors in their concepts, relaying that back to the class. So again, you use class concepts, but you're also just going to use common sense questions, and those will be listed for you. We'll have a handout. You won't get the handout, but there'll be a prompt up on Moodle for you to take a look at. I'll give you some questions to ask. Is there an author? Who is the intended audience of this article? Who paid for or who published? Is there any bias in that article? Who is the publishing company? Where do they get their money? Maybe they have an agenda that would that would tilt their article in one direction or another. So take time. There'll be lots of more questions than just those to ask. But basically, you're going to write 3 full pages. I don't need a title page on there. I don't need an abstract. You're going to write 3 pages on source analyzation here. You give me just a little bit of background on CRISPR, just so that you know what a gene is, you know what DNA is, and you can tie in those concepts. But the bulk of your paper is going to take those sources and rank them in terms of credibility. You're going to tell me what questions you ask, what criteria. All this is written up nicely in a prompt for you. I just wanted to give you a little bit of explanation here. The 3 full pages, again, another point on that. Don't try to do the minimum. It never ends up very well in terms of your grade. Do your best. You can get more than 3 pages, and that's 3 full pages, not including the references. So 3 full pages of content, of meat there. You know you're using APA citation formatting for your in-text citations to give credit right where it's due. I'm giving you feedback on that in your citation assignment. And then you're going to provide the references. Do make sure APA is references, not works cited. References there at the end. Put those in alphabetical order. Yada yada yada. I've made all those comments on your. Include that after your pages. 3 full pages. That's the minimum. There's not really a maximum. I don't think anyone's going to write 10, 20 pages. If you do, I'll read it, but I don't know that that's going to be the case. So again, this counts as a test grade. This is your final exam. Please take advantage of the rough draft options. Please call, email, use the Writing Center on campus, through the library. I can get you more info on that if necessary. I want you to do well. It does count as the same as all the other tests and the lab report that you wrote previously. But some of you have asked about, oh, how many grades you left? I'm right on the borderline. Use this as an opportunity to go ahead and bump your grade up. You're getting it weeks in advance. You have plenty of time to work on it. Don't wait until December the 10th to work on it. Again, use it as an excellent grading opportunity. Let me just make sure I've covered everything we needed to. All the specs will be in the write-up here on font size, margins, all those, the fine-tune, the specs, if you will, of the assignment. There will be a grading rubric. We're going to use the writing rubric, so looking for certain criteria. That'll be all there, laid out nicely for you. Again, the paper is on CRISPR. Gene editing, we're back to, in Module 8, we did an assignment on CRISPR, and you looked at, watched a few videos if you need to use those to refresh. Then you're analyzing those sources that you got some feedback on for credibility. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy it as much as you can for a final exam, and we'll pick up with Module 11 here as your next regular module. All right, thanks guys.